Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you for your responses. Thank you very much. Let's stop the chat. Let's stop the chat. Thank you very much for your responses. Okay. So we already discussed about NaCl. So what's our new plan for today's session? We'll be introducing two more components. We're learning about the importance of NaCl, which is very, very important from the interview point of view. And we'll discuss about ephemeral ports. Okay, so this is our plan for our today's session. NAT gateway we already have completed. I want to discuss about NaCl and ephemeral ports. This is our plan for today's session. So before getting into today's session, as usual, let's have interaction with Naga.
Hello.
Hi Naga, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Sunil. Good morning, Sunil. How are you?
Doing well, Naga. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you. And I have one query, but actually, last class we had discussion Git bash and putty. Okay.
Last class.
Last session.
Last session we have discussed about NAT gateway and Bastion server.
Regarding in the DevOps session. In organization, which one is either putty or
both is used, Naga. Okay, we should be comfortable in both the ways. Okay. Okay, so we should be comfortable. As we know, both of these, I think that's nothing but difference. Finally, we need a terminal. Both is used, Naga. Okay.
Thank you. Your sessions, thank you. And your sessions are really interesting.
Thank you, Naga. Thank you very much.
And very interesting and very good.
Okay, thank you. Your experience, please.
But actually, I'm working in DBA. I have 10 years of experience.
Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you, Naga. Thank you for your feedback. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Siju, Vada Mukara.
Hi Sunil.
Good morning, Siju. How are you doing?
My God, it's like almost 17 days to reach you. Every day I keep on raising my hand.
Okay. Thank you, Siju. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, yes.
And first of all, I would like to say
thank you to talk to you.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to you because I was totally zero about AWS, but because of you, I got too much knowledge about AWS.
Thank you.
For that.
So in the beginning session, you were completely zero in AWS. No idea.
Yes. Before to that AWS, I was totally zero. I was working with the infra only.
Okay.
I am a VMware certified as well as
wow.
I have 13 plus years.
I hope now you know, Siju, how cloud is helping the client to have their infrastructure, isn't it? With respect to security, with respect to storage, with respect to privacy, and with respect to we like virtual machines.
Yeah. Actually,
thank you.
So, Sunil, I have few queries. The first thing is that I got the bill of 656 rupees from AWS.
Okay.
Because by mistakenly, I have forgotten to delete few of the EC2 machines.
Yes.
So, is there any way to waive off those bills?
Okay. Option one, we cannot waive off. Either we have to pay it or we have to ignore it. Siju.
Okay.
If you pay it, no problem, because anyways, debit card is linked to your account, right? So it gets deducted from your debit card. That's option one. Option two, if you don't want to pay, you can ignore that. So AWS will send you a reminder mail saying that your amount is 600 rupees is due. They'll remind you for 2-3 months. If you don't respond, the account will be suspended. That's it. Okay. You can again create a new account with same debit card and same mobile number. That's not a problem.
Okay. No issues. And after this class, I'm planning to go for the certification of AWS.
Okay.
So as I'm completely working on, I'm a data center admin.
Very good. So which data center, Siju?
Here, I'm at the customer location.
City?
I'm at Gujarat, Valsad.
Okay, you're Gujarat. You're at customer location.
Yeah, I'm at customer location.
Your organization, actual data center, where is it located?
We are a service providers for HP.
Okay.
So I'm handling
for all HP clients. You handle the infrastructure requirements.
Yes, like that. So the thing is
So
that
you maintain all HP Proliant hardware, I think so. Proliant or whatever it is, I think there's one.
I am handling multiple. Before to that, this customer was handled by IBM, so I was working for them. Later
Okay.
on, this project has been gone to my company, Creative Infotech. So now I'm working for them. So here I'm handling Dell servers, HP ProLines, as well as IBM.
Where is this Creative Infotech
We
main
are based
office?
on Surat. Our company is based on Surat.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years experience, Siju?
I have 13 plus years of experience.
Siju, I need a small help from you.
Yes, sir.
Actually, my dream is to start my own data center.
Okay.
Okay. So if I want any technical guidance on handling data center, can our team contact you?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay.
I will try my level best to help you out.
Thank you very much. Are you in our WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I am in your WhatsApp group.
Okay. Thank you, Siju. Thank you for your support.
Okay. Thank you.
Enjoy learning.
Yeah. Thanks
And if you are happy, share it to your friends.
Yeah, definitely. I already shared to my few of my friends.
Okay.
But one more thing here where I'm working here, my manager asked, is there any batch after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Because they are also keen to join AWS batch.
Yeah, definitely.
But due to this 9
after
to 10.
5 o'clock also, there will be one batch, but they have to wait. Okay.
Frankly speaking, I have to fight with my reporting manager over here to continue with their batch because they are not allowing me at the working hour to join this class. But I have to fight for doing.
Okay.
That's why another manager asked me like, is there any batch after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Then he's also keen to join.
Okay. Yes, there will be batches. You will get the updates in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Siju.
Okay. Thank you, Sunil. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Hassan from Afghanistan, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hi, Hassan.
Hi, Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well. You're from Afghanistan, right?
No. Who said?
Someone from Afghanistan in our batch. Let me check my WhatsApp group.
Thank you giving me opportunity. From the day beginning, I am pinging you, but thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, late, but finally I reached to you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
It's nice. It's nice to speak to you as well, and your training is really important. Very important, even for the basic guys, who doesn't have knowledge of whatever networking. So you're explaining everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also planning to do the
your feedbacks will help me a lot.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah, so it's very important. Maybe I'm going to after that we'll start as a professional level of that training. Because
I want to do that, but let me check my availability also.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, it's very helpful.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you very much. Hashim, you are from Afghanistan, right? Am I right, Hashim?
Yeah, hi, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Hashim. Your location?
Yeah, I'm from Kabul, Afghanistan.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
How is the situation now at Afghanistan?
Yours are very much interesting, sir. I really learned a lot from these sessions. And
thank you very much.
I'm trying to convince my management to go for the AWS because I'm confident now. And I'm learning a lot, sir. And I'm planning to go for the certification. And thanks to you, sir, for all those sessions.
Thank you very much. So how is life at Afghanistan now?
Situation from a security perspective, it is quite fine, but economically, financially, it is
civil situation is fine, I think so, right? Now
civil situation, it's not quite fine, sir, because they are still looking, for the civilians, those who work with the foreigners. So there is still situations, but not as earlier.
Okay.
I work in a bank, sir, Afghan United Bank. One of my colleagues, Mr. Javed, he's from India. He has shared with me the link.
Okay.
To join, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Hashim.
Thank you so much, sir. And sir, I'm looking for a WhatsApp link, if it is possible, sir.
I already shared it, right? WhatsApp link in the WhatsApp. You are not part of WhatsApp group?
No, sir, I'm not a part of it.
Okay, 1 minute, please. I think WhatsApp is banned in Afghan, I think so, right? Hashim?
Hello.
Yeah, Hashim. 25, I think is free. I'm sending you the WhatsApp group in the chat box, Hashim.
Yes, sir, I see.
Please join that. Do not join duplicate groups for other participants. It's only for people who are not part of WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you, Hashim. I hope you have
Thank you, sir.
wonderful career ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Sunil.
Yes, Naga.
Sorry for the interrupt. Actually, I have one doubt, but actually, AWS is free account is valid for 12 months or 1 month? But actually, I have confusion.
12 months.
Okay, 12
Okay.
months. 12 months free. After that, okay, everything.
It will be paid. It will be billable.
Yeah,
Okay, Naga.
yeah. Okay, okay. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Sunil. Okay.
Thank you. One small interaction. I think some participants have attended fresher job openings in an IT organization in Hyderabad, in Uppal. Is there anybody in this particular batch who has done that? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. Is there anybody who joined, recently cleared the interview in an organization, in an IT company near Uppal SEZ? Okay, probably not from this group. Okay. Hashim, did you successfully join the group? Hashim, did you successfully join the WhatsApp group which I sent you?
That is actually, sir, full.
Full.
The
1 minute, please.
Yes,
Please
sir.
be online. Please be online. I'll give you one more group. It's very difficult for us to maintain the groups. In fact,
Thank you, sir.
1 minute, please. Please be online.
And sir, I'm also looking for the payment link. Sir.
You can add. Can you make the transfer to Indian Bank? I think PayPal will not work, isn't it?
PayPal, sir, I have an international debit card, sir, so I can try with that as well.
You can. I'll share you PayPal link in that case. Okay. 26. 1 minute, please. Hashim. 26 is also full. 20. 24. 24 is full. Oh my God. 79.
Sir, I want to payments. How those payments, they're do we have any session on the commercials on the payment stations? In this AWS training?
1 minute. Asim, join this new one.
Okay, sir. Yeah, I've joined, sir. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And you get the updates now. Okay. Thank you. Let's start the chat. Let's start the session. Thank you. One more final interaction before getting into the concepts. Sudhakar Yellasari.
Yeah, it's Sunil. Good morning.
Good morning, Sudhakar.
Yeah, I'm new to this AWS actually. I am a SAN administrator. Past, I have IT experience 12 years. I'm a SAN administrator 8 years. Okay. But I want to move cloud.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but daily I hear you are telling is good to move to cloud, right?
Yeah. Okay.
What are the things I need to learn actually? DevOps is mandatory, or I have a small doubt here actually.
DevOps is not mandatory. If you want to get into AWS,
okay,
what I'm providing is AWS Solutions Architect Associate level training. I strongly recommend, if you want to go to AWS, I recommend you to learn professional level training. That's next level. Once you complete these 2 levels, you can try for AWS certified solutions architect role or AWS engineer role. Okay, in the AWS cloud. DevOps is optional. Okay, if you want to get into only AWS. Okay, those who want to get into DevOps, it's up to them. They can get into DevOps also by learning DevOps course. Okay, Sudhakar.
Yeah. Really, your teaching.
Thank you, Sudhakar. Thank
You
you.
have a good teaching skills. Actually, I also as a teacher.
Okay.
Here, I working as a teacher previous, so
Okay.
I understand. Your explanation is very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudhakar. Thank you very much. If you're happy, please share in your friend circle. Are you attending from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my friend Ramakrishna is giving sharing this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much.
I'm waiting for this last starting onwards. Daily I raise my hand.
Okay. As you know. Okay. Thank you, Sudhakar.
Thank you so much, Sunil.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you. I'm planning to have a meet and greet program. So let's see how it happens in Hyderabad. Let's get it. To save time, I already have created VPC. I followed the steps to save time. Step 1, I have created a VPC. This part is done. Step 1, I have created a VPC. I have created 2 subnets. Okay. I have created internet gateway, this component. Okay. I have created internet gateway. Okay. And then I have attached the internet gateway to VPC. I have created route table. Sorry. I've created route table. One end of the route table I have attached to public subnet. One end of the route table I have attached to internet gateway. So that subnet becomes public. Okay. I have created an EC2 machine inside the public subnet. Okay. Next, I have created an EC2 machine inside the private subnet. So all this, as we already learned it. Okay. So I have created all this part. Okay. Now, so when we know this and we know the importance of Bastion server helps the database administrators or any other resources they want to connect to DBS server and then wants to do some maintenance activities. So we have taken a help of Bastion server. So the DBS will connect to the Bastion server. From the Bastion server, they jump to the Bastion server, jump to the DB server. So that's the concept. We already know it. And for providing the internet to the private subnet, we have created a NAT gateway. And then one end of the NAT gateway, we have attached it to route table, and one more end of the route table, we have attached it to private subnet. So the private subnet will also have internet access. So that's all we have learned it. Now let's learn something new. I want to discuss about one more component called NACL. One more component called NACL. Rohini, can we have a talk if you don't mind?
Sure, sir.
Okay.
I'm glad to have a talk with you.
If anybody asks you what is security group, what will be your answer?
Security group will be created under the network. And that will be...
Security group, sorry, repeat your statement.
Security group will be created to particular network.
Network.
Yeah.
Example of a network?
So each subnet will be having a network, and each network will be having a security group related to it.
Okay. In our case, there is a subnet called WebSL, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the network it is having?
I think it's having default network.
Can you show me where is the default network for the WebSL? This is a subnet, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the web subnet, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the default network?
1 second, sir. Can you scroll this right side? This is the one, sir. Network ASL.
Okay. Okay.
And each network will be having a subnet in it. Security group that we will assign while creating a EC2 machine.
How do you know this?
Sorry, sir.
How do you know this?
I work on that, sir. I work on blockchain, sir. So where we provide all the network and this security group and the zone configuration before deploying a blockchain, sir.
Okay, fine. So what is the benefit of this security group?
It will be used to hold the inbound and outbound traffic. So we have to give a security group to each and every EC2 machine.
Very good. So security group is controlling the incoming connections to the EC2 machine. Agree?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So which protocol needs to be allowed? HTTP needs to be allowed, or SSH needs to be allowed. Everything you are defining in the security group.
Yes, sir.
Agree or not? So security group is providing a security to the EC2 machine. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Security group is providing a security to the EC2 machines. Who should connect, which port needs to be opened, from which IP address that should be connected, everything, isn't it? All
Yes.
these are controlled by security group. So finally, security group will provide security to the EC2 machine. Agree?
Correct, sir.
Security group will provide security at the instance level. Instance level is nothing but EC2 level. Whereas the new concept what we are learning, NACL, stands for Network Access Control List. NACL will provide security at what level? Subnet level. NACL provides a security at a subnet level. Okay. Let's make it simplified. Rohini, what is WebSL?
It's an
Subnet.
subnet, yes, sir.
That's it, isn't it? Now, my point is, can we have 100 EC2 machines inside the subnet?
Yes, sir.
Can we have 100 EC2 machines inside the subnet?
Yes, sir. It depends on the calculation.
You can have 100 machines, you can have 200 machines, you can have 10 machines. Of course, isn't it? Can we have a number of machines inside the subnet? Okay. Security group is providing security only for one EC2 machine.
Yes, sir.
Assuming if the subnet is having 100 EC2 machines,
Mm-hmm.
assuming the subnet is having 100 EC2 machines, you want to provide security to all the 100 machines. That means you want to provide security at what level? Subnet level.
Correct.
If you want to provide security at a subnet level, then we have to use a component of NACL. NACL will provide security at what level? Subnet level. Okay. Let's practically experience the NACL concept. Let's practically experience the concept of NACL. In the VPC dashboard,
Mm-hmm.
we have Network Access Control List, NACL. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Rohini, how many NACLs you are observing here?
2, sir.
2 NACL. And it is very obvious that the first NACL is related to default VPC.
Correct.
The second NACL is related to my VPC. That means NACL will be created automatically.
Yes.
NACL will be created automatically when we create a VPC. NACL will be created automatically when a VPC has been created. So I can see here, did I manually create NACL? No, you create a VPC and check NACL, it will be automatically created. So that's the point.
Yes, sir.
NACL will be created automatically when we create a VPC. Okay, so let's ignore that default NACL which was created automatically. Now let's go ahead and create a new NACL. Let's go ahead and create a new NACL. I want to provide security to the first subnet. I want to provide security to the first subnet. So what I'll do, I'll create a component called NACL, and I will attach that component to the first subnet. That's what I want to do it.
Okay, sir.
I repeat again the importance of NACL. NACL is a component which provides a security to the entire subnet level. I'll give a simple example. Let's make it simplified for the participants. Let's make it simplified. Let's say you're living in a community.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you are living in a community which is having some 100 apartments, or you are living in a society which is having some 100 or 200 apartments, a high-rise tower. Your flat entrance, your apartment number, that can be 205 or 506 or whatever. Your flat entrance, you lock your main door. That's your security at your independent flat. the main entrance of your flat, let's say your flat is flat number can be 506 or 1053 or whatever it is, you close your flat entrance. That's your security at your flat. Whereas in the society, there will be a main gate, isn't it? If whoever wants to enter into society first, they need an approval. That's a security at entire 100 apartments. Am I right, Rohini?
Yes,
So
sir.
there are two levels. If anybody wants to enter into a flat, he needs to get approval at two levels. He needs to get the approval from the society entrance, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And then once he get into your apartment, and then he will enter your flat. Agree or not? So in the same way, like the society main entrance will provide security to all the 100 apartments.
Mhm.
And then your main entrance will only provide security to your flat. In the same way, NACL is providing security to, assuming there are 100 EC2 machines inside the web subnet, NACL component will provide all security to the entire subnet level. Okay, so it is increasing one more layer of security. So I said again, I repeat one more time, what is the highest concerns the clients have? What is the main concern the client have when they move to cloud? They're worried about security. Is my infrastructure secured or not? They're main worried about security. Okay, they're not ready to. They're not worried about bill. They're ready to pay the bill. The only thing what they want is highly secured. The AWS does not provide any compromise on the security. I hope you are understanding how exactly VPC concept is increasing layers of security for the client's infrastructure. So I hope you have understood the importance of NACL. One final statement: NACL will provide the security at the entire subnet level. So that's the reason. Let's go ahead and practically create the concept of NACL. So we will be creating NACL and attach it to the public subnet. Which is subnet? There are two subnets, WebSN, TB subnet, and you already know the WebSN is a public subnet. I want to create NACL component and I want to attach the NACL to the WebSN.
Okay, sir.
Create NACL stands for Network Access Control List. What is the name of the NACL? Name of the NACL can be anything. My NACL or any name I can write it. As we are attaching to public subnet, as we are attaching to public subnet, I'm naming it as public NACL. It can be anything. Name can be anything. The name can be my name also. It can be Sunil NACL also. For understanding, name can be anything. So as I am attaching this NACL to public subnet, I'm writing it as public NACL and which VPC. I want to create the NACL component in my VPC. NACL component has been created. What is the name of the NACL? This is the NACL which we have created. The name of the NACL is public NACL. Next. You need to attach NACL to the WebSN. Attach NACL to WebSN.
Correct.
Select NACL, actions, edit subnet associations, and select the subnet you want to attach it to. I want to attach it to web subnet. Save. I have done. I have created a component, public NACL, and it is attached to which SN? WebSN. As per the diagram, you can see I have created a component called NACL, and I have attached the component to the subnet. Which subnet? WebSN.
One question I have, sir, here.
Yep.
So when
1 minute, please. 1 minute.
Sorry, sir.
1 minute. I think I have done a mistake. I have done a mistake. It's not a mistake. I should have done it before. So I want to delete NACL which I have created just now. I remove the subnet association.
Yes.
Just deleted whatever I have created just to show you some important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have created an EC2 machine inside the first subnet. I have created a web server inside the subnet, first subnet. I want to show you that web server. If you want to see that EC2 machine, obviously we need to go to EC2 service, instances, web server, public IP. Am I getting my Google page, Rohini?
Yes, sir.
From my personal laptop, my dear friends, try to understand, from my personal laptop, from my Google Chrome, if I am typing an IP address, isn't it? From my personal laptop, I am able to access my web application.
Correct.
I'm able to access my web application, and you're getting my Google page, or it could be Facebook page. The concept is the same, isn't it, Rohini? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anybody in the world can connect to my web server. Rohini, I'm sending it in the chat box.
Mhm.
The same IP address, I'm sending it in the chat box. Pick up the IP address from the chat box and try to access that particular IP address from your browser and respond to me. Are you able to get the same page, my Google page?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
3.108.66.237.
Yes, sir. I'm able to access.
I'm able to access. Not only you, anybody in the world can access using this IP address 3.108.66.237. Am I right, Rohini? Okay.
Yes.
That means all the incoming connections are able to communicate to web server. Agree?
Correct, sir.
It is entering into the subnet. From the subnet, it is connecting to that IP address EC2 machine, whoever you're using, and we are getting the my Google page. Now, I just quickly repeat whatever I have done it. I will be creating one more NACL. As I have deleted, I just want to confirm it before showing you this example. Now I will be creating a component called NACL. Create NACL. I just repeat whatever I heard. What's the name of the NACL? Public NACL. Where I want to create this NACL in VPC. Create. I have created NACL, and this is the name of the NACL, and I'll attach it to which subnet, Rohini? WebSL.
WebSL. Yes, sir.
Actions. We have an option called Edit Subnet Associations, and I am attaching to WebSL. Save changes. I have created a component called NACL, and I have attached NACL at what level? At the subnet level. Okay. Let's wait for 1 minute for the NACL network to get successfully work into action. Now the same IP address, Rohini, which you just tried, open it from one more browser, not the same browser, or open it from a new window.
Sure, sir.
And now it will take, now it is now coming, but after 1 minute or 2 minutes, we will not get the page. I think started working. Rohini, I'm typing it from the same IP address. Are we able to get that my Google page? No. Are you getting it from your end?
Trying it.
Close that browser, and then you may get it from the history. Close that browser and open it from one more browser or one more window or one more tab.
Yes, sir. I tried with different browsers. I'm not able to access.
You are not able. Previously, that means before NACL, you are able to access.
Correct.
After NACL, you are not able to access. That means which is blocking the NACL component is blocking the incoming connection. Agree?
Correct, sir.
NACL by default will block the incoming connections. Are we able to access the web server? Before NACL, we are able to access the web server. After creating NACL, we are not able to access the web server. My dear friends, look at this. I'm not able to access the web server. So you have to understand which component is blocking the connection. Are you able to access the web server? No, because NACL is blocking the incoming connection. So what you have to do, Rohini, we need to open the port at NACL.
Correct, sir.
You have to open the port at NACL level. My dear friends, port is nothing but a gate. I already have explained this in day one when we learned about web server in the EC2 machine. Port is nothing but a gate. You buy a pen drive, you want to use a pen drive, you connect the pen drive to what? USB port. Port is point of communication. Your data will go to your pen drive using the port. Port is point of communication. You want to connect your laptop to TV. You want to connect your laptop to television. We connect using HDMI port. Ports are nothing but point of communication. So your NACL component is blocking. You have to open the port. Like how in the security group we open HTTP port, SSH port. In the same way, you have to open the port. At what level? At NACL, you have to open the port. That means in your society, first you should open the main gate. And then if your visitor wants, then you have to open the gate of your apartment entrance. If you want the visitor to get into your flat, you have to open the port at main gate, and you have to open the port at your apartment. You have already opened the port at your apartment, but main gate port is closed, isn't it, Rohini? So
Yes,
we
sir.
have to open the port at what level? We have to open the port at NACL.
Correct, sir.
We need to open the ports at NACL. Let's learn how can we open the port. Go to the NACL which you have created. Network access control list. What is the name of the NACL? Public NACL. Go to inbound rules. Inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. Look at this, Rohini. All traffic, all deny. Everything is blocked.
Correct, sir.
Okay, in NACL, everything is denied, blocked. So we need to open the port.
Correct, sir.
I will open two ports. One is SSH port, the other one is HTTP port. How many ports we are opening? Two ports we are opening. So that I can connect using PuTTY to do some configurations, and I can connect using browser so that to access my applications. I am opening two ports at my NACL. SSH port only to my IP address. Only I should be able to connect from using SSH port. Okay.
Correct.
So my laptop IP address, I will get it from when I type what is my IP. 183.83.39.194. I am opening the ports. I'm opening the ports. How to open the ports? Add rule. Add rule. Rule number 100. Why I am writing rule number 100? You may have a question. Sunil, why are you writing 100? Can we write 1? Can we write 10? Yes, you can do that. But I'll tell you the importance of rule numbers. So as of now, in this example, I'm writing the rule as 100. What port I'm opening? SSH port. Only to my IP address. Adding one more rule. Rule number 200. What port I'm opening? HTTP port to anybody in the world. Perfect. So Rohini, how many ports I'm opening?
2 ports, sir.
SSH port I'm opening, HTTP port I'm opening to all over the world. Okay. SSH port I'm opening only to my IP address. Okay. Only I can connect using HTTP, but everybody in the world can connect to. I can connect SSH, but anybody in the world can connect using the browser. Agree?
Correct, sir.
Same. So Rohini, can you again repeat what did we do in this particular point?
We earlier created the NACL, and it was not allowing us to access from the browser, that is publicly. So we have to provide the access to the NACL. So we have to edit the rule and provide the.
We have opened 2 ports.
Yeah.
Okay. So that NACL will now allow the incoming connections. Agree?
Correct, sir.
Now let's try to access the web server. Rohini, you already have the web server IP address in the chat box, I think so. Okay. So the IP address is 3.108.66.237. Is it, Rohini?
Yes, sir.
Now are you able to access the web server? Because this is still processing. Still we are not able to access the web server. Rohini, we have opened the port at main gate, right? But still you are not able to access the web server. Agree? Are you able to access?
No, sir.
We are not able to access. Let's try to understand the reason why. Are we able to access the web server? No. Even though you have opened the port at the main gate, that is NACL, but still you are not able to connect. What's the problem?
Correct, sir.
Now we should know the concept of stateful and stateless in nature. We should know the concept of stateful and stateless in nature.
Correct, sir.
Let's select the security group. Select any security group. Let's go to any security group. Whenever you want to open the ports, Rohini, you go to inbound rules and edit the open the ports. That's it. Okay.
Correct.
Whenever you want to open the security group, we go to inbound rules and we open it. We don't worry about outbound rules.
Correct, sir.
My dear friends, in the security group, whenever you want to open security group, I'm talking about EC2 machine. Whenever you want to open SSH port or whenever you want to open HTTP port, I will open at inbound level. We don't do it at outbound level. Security group, we have two rules: inbound rules and outbound rules. So we open only inbound rules. We don't worry about outbound rules. Outbound rules are by default open to all. Incoming ports and outgoing ports, incoming gate and outgoing gate. Outgoing gate is already open to all. You have just opened the inbound rules. Outbound rules by default open to all. Look at this. So go to outbound rules, edit outbound rules. By default, all and all allowed. All traffic is allowed. Only thing what you need to do is to open inbound level. Okay, try to understand. In the security group, did we add ports in outbound? No, we don't add ports at outbound. In security group, we open ports at only inbound level. By default, outbound is open to all. This concept is called as stateful in nature. The security group concepts are stateful in nature. Very important from the interview point of view. In security group, you should open only inbound rules. You don't need to worry about outbound rules. Outbound rule by default is open to all. That this concept is called as stateful in nature. So whenever we open HTTP, by default, outbound is open to all. So here we are able to access the web server. This is called stateful in nature. Coming to NACL, NACL case is different. We need to open outbound ports also. Right now, we have opened only for our NACL, we have opened at only inbound rules, Rohini.
Yes, sir.
We have only opened rule number 100 and rule number 200. You have opened at what level? Inbound level.
Yes, sir.
You have to exclusively open at outbound level also. Got it? You have to do it at outbound level. This concept is called as stateless in nature. In NACL, you have to open inbound rules, and also whatever you have opened in inbound, you have also open at outbound rules also. Clear, Rohini?
Correct.
Did you understand the concept of stateful and stateless in nature? So
Yes, sir.
NACL is stateless in nature. So we have opened 2 ports at inbound level. We have to open 2 ports at outbound level. So let's do the same. Every day I receive close to 500 calls. Okay. And my family have named me as a call center. Okay. Because I receive approximately 500 calls. My dear friends, and I all the unknown numbers, I will not lift it. Okay. So because so I hope you are understanding. Okay, please don't think me wrong. I am sure many participants have tried to reach my mobile numbers, but as we know, because of some because I need to carry on with my other activities, so that's the reason I am not lifting the calls. Okay, I hope you can understand. You can ping me on WhatsApp. So outbound rules, Rohini. Okay, edit outbound rules. At outbound level also, new rule number 100, SSH port, only to my IP address, fine. And then the second port, Rohini, is rule number 200.
Yes, sir.
And HTTP, open to all.
Correct, sir. What is the 32 mean, sir?
What is the maximum subnet mask value?
32, yeah.
What is the value I have provided?
32.
32 minus 32 is how much?
1.
1 to the power of 0 is?
1.
1. That is nothing but only from this IP machine I can connect. In the world, only one EC2 machine can connect. Okay. Instead of this, you can provide a subnet series also. Okay. Suppose. Save changes. So Rohini, what did I do it? Could you please recap?
Yes, sir. We created one NACL to provide the security to the WebSN. So it was public earlier, and when we created NACL, we were not able
No. Subnet is public now also.
I mean, like not able to access through.
NACL is blocking.
Yes, NACL is blocking. So we created. We have to provide the inbound and outbound traffic to that one to access the NACL.
To allow the traffic to get
traffic,
inside the
yes.
subnet. Okay.
Yes.
We have opened the ports.
Yes, sir.
And how many levels you have opened the ports?
2 level.
One is
Okay.
inbound level. Now we have opened it outbound level. Now do you think NACL will allow access?
Yes, sir.
Rohini,
So,
pick up the IP address and as you already have the IP address with you, pick up the IP address of the EC2 machine and tell me whether you are able to reach.
sure.
3.108.66.237. Any good news, Rohini?
No, sir. Not
Still your NACL is
blocked.
blocking. My dear friends, still the NACL component is blocking, even though we have opened the ports at inbound level. We have opened the ports at outbound level. Still your NACL is blocking. What's the problem? Let's learn more. Are we able to access the web server? No. Now we have know what is the reason why NACL is still blocking. Now you have to understand the concept of ephemeral ports. Okay. I want to discuss about the concept of ephemeral ports. Before learning this ephemeral ports concepts, let's understand the general meaning of the term ephemeral. Not technology meaning, general dictionary meaning of the term ephemeral. Rohini, what do you mean by ephemeral? General meaning in English, not respect to IT or software. What do you mean by ephemeral? Let's look at this. The meaning of the term ephemeral. Ephemeral is nothing but last for a short time, temporary. Okay. The term ephemeral means temporary, short term. Okay. So ephemeral means temporary. Okay. Now we are what ports? We are learning about temporary ports or ephemeral ports. What does that mean? In networking, the total range of ports are 0 to 65,535. These are the range of ports, Rohini. Out of this, 1024 to 65,535 ports are ephemeral ports. That means majority of the ports, 90% of the ports are what ports? Ephemeral ports. Search for ephemeral ports in AWS. In Google, you'll get this range. This is the range. Okay. 1024 to 65,535. This is the range of ephemeral ports. Okay. Now, look at a scenario. Rohini, in the public subnet, assume there are 100 web servers.
Correct, sir.
How many EC2 machines are there in the public subnet? 100 EC2 machines. Okay. All the EC2 machines are attached to load balancer. You know what load balancer will do? Load balancer will receive the incoming traffic and distribute the traffic to all the 100 EC2 machines.
Correct, sir.
All are connected to load balancer. If a hacker is blocking HTTP port in one web server is nothing but one EC2 machine. Rohini, we are assuming that how many EC2 machines are there in the subnet?
100.
A hacker is blocking HTTP port of one EC2 machine. One EC2 machine, hacker blocked it.
Okay.
Will that be a serious problem?
No, sir. The traffic will move to the next.
So load balancer will declare it as unhealthy, and remaining 99 EC2 machines are working fine, right?
Correct, sir.
So the load balancer will distribute the traffic to remaining 99 machines. So is it a serious problem? It is not a serious problem. If a hacker blocks HTTP port at EC2 machine, there are 100 EC2 machines, one EC2 machine hacker is blocking. That will not be a serious problem because remaining 99 EC2 machines are perfectly working. The load is distributed to remaining 99 EC2 machine and end user will get the application. Am I right, Rohini?
Correct, sir.
If a hacker blocks HTTP port on one web server, will it be a serious problem? It is not at all a serious problem because the remaining 99 machines are perfectly working. As the load balancer will send the request to remaining 99 servers, it is problem. But if a hacker blocks HTTP port at NACL level, NACL level is nothing but subnet level. If a hacker blocks HTTP at subnet level, will it be a serious problem, Rohini?
Yes, sir. This
is a serious problem because all the 100 EC2 machines will not have the traffic, so the application goes down.
Correct, sir.
If a hacker blocks one EC2 machine, it's not a problem because all the remaining 99 machines are perfectly working. But if a hacker blocks HTTP at a NACL level, my dear friends, NACL is nothing but the complete subnet level hacker block. So that means the remaining 100 EC2 machines will not work. So application goes down.
Correct, sir.
The entire website will goes down. So to avoid this problem, what AWS says that we have to, AWS is providing a range of ports called 1024 to 65,535. These are range of ports are called as ephemeral ports. What AWS says as per the documentation, we need to open this range at NACL level. We have to open this range. What range? 1024 to 65,000 ports. We have to open at what level? At NACL level. What happens when we do that? At NACL level, how many ports we have opened as of now?
2 ports.
Let's select the NACL which you have created. That is the public NACL. Go to inbound rules. Go to inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. As of now at NACL, we have opened only 2 ports, SSH port and HTTP port. Now what AWS documentation says that we have to open the range of ports. This range of ports we have to open. We need to open this range of ports. Why should we open this? When we open this range of ports, what happens to me? If a hacker blocks a particular port, example HTTP port hacker is blocking, AWS will randomly use the port range. Out in this range, automatically it will pick up one port randomly. That port will be converted as HTTP port automatically. Rohini.
Okay.
When a hacker blocks HTTP port at NACL level, what AWS do does, immediately it will pick up the ports in this range. One random number it will pick up. That number will be converted to a HTTP port so that the website will not go down. Got it, Rohini? Did you understand the advantage of ephemeral ports?
Yes, sir.
So ephemeral ports are mandatory. It's not optional. You have to mandatory open it. That's the reason we have now the NACL is not allowing because we have not opened the ephemeral ports. So go to inbound rule. Now I am adding one more rule. Add new rule. Rule number 300. Custom TCP role and range. Can you see port range?
Yes, sir.
The port range is this one. Okay, sorry. Same. Rohini, are you understanding? Is it mandatory to open the ephemeral ports? Yes, it is mandatory to open the ephemeral ports. Okay. Now tell me access the web server. Test.
Yes, sir.
Now will we access the web server? What is the IP address of that EC2 machine? 3.108.66.237, my dear friends. As ephemeral ports are mandatory, we have know the concept of ephemeral ports. Ephemeral ports I have opened. Still you access the web server?
No, sir.
What's the problem? What could be the reason?
Outbound traffic we need to.
Yes, whatever we do it at inbound level, we have to do it at outbound level also. We have opened the rule number 300, right? Ephemeral ports we have opened. The same thing you have to do it at what level? Outbound level also.
Correct.
Okay. So are we able to access the web server? No. NACL is stateless in nature. We need to open the same ports at the outbound level also. Let's do it at outbound level. This is the NACL which you have selected, public NACL. I'm going to outbound rules, edit outbound rules, new rule, rule number 300. I'm opening it outbound level also. Whatever I do it, remember in NACL, whatever we do it at inbound level, sorry, I have done wrong. Rule number 300. Port range should be this one. So Rohini, remember that whatever we do it at inbound level, we have to do it at outbound level. Now Rohini, try to access the web page now.
Yes, sir.
Are we able to access the web server?
Yes, sir. I'm able to access.
Yes. Now the infrastructure is perfectly designed without compromising on security. Now your access, see, unless until you are opening the ephemeral ports, your NACL is not allowing the incoming connection. So opening the ephemeral ports is mandatory. It's not optional, it is mandatory. Got it, Rohini?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are able to access the page. Yes. Now we are able to access the web server. Yes. So quick recap, NACL provides a security at a subnet level, and we have to open inbound level as well as outbound levels. Yes. So thank you for the support, Rohini. So let's have a quick interaction before continuing.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yes.
One question I have. By default, security group which we provided to our subnet, what will
subnet,
happen?
For subnet, it's not security group, it's NACL.
That we created earlier when we created our subnet.
That does not have much, there's no impact. Okay, it's dummy. Okay,
sir.
Okay, Rohini.
Yeah, sir.
Shaiju. Your question, Shaiju. No questions? Can you hear me, Shaiju? Venkat Kiran. Good morning, Venkat. Any questions?
Hi, Sunil. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you, Venkat.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for this session.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you.
My question is related to this inbound and outbound.
So at NACL?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So is there any scenario or use case where we open inbound and close the outbound?
No.
Or vice versa?
No. I've never seen any such kind of scenario. Anything you do it at inbound, you have to do it at outbound. Okay.
Okay. So, and my second question is, if suppose I have opened port 80 at NACL and it is closed at EC2 level, so will I be able to?
Port 80 is nothing but HTTP port.
Correct.
You will not be able to access the EC2 machine. Okay. The connection will enter into subnet. Okay. But that will not connect to the EC2 machine because the EC2 machine you are blocking. Okay.
Yes.
Clear, Venkat? If you, so something like you have allowed your visitor to enter into community, but you're not allowing your visitor to enter into your apartment. Okay. So that's how it is.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, clear, Sunil. Thank you.
Anything more, Venkat?
No, Sunil. It is crystal clear. Thank you.
Okay. Prashant Kumar. Good morning, Prashant.
Good morning, Sunil.
Yes.
Sunil, my question is that whenever we will create the NACL, then how can we provide the internet to NACL?
There is no require. Are we providing internet to security group?
No. I'm providing internet directly to subnet.
That's it. We don't need to provide internet to NACL. Not required. Okay.
So anyone wants to connect directly to subnet, then he need to pass through the NACL.
Yes, you're right. He needs to pass through NACL. Okay, Prashant.
Okay, Sunil. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you.
Thank you,
wonderful
Prashant.
training, Sunil.
Thank you, Prashant. Akash Kotakar.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hi, Akash. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. So my basic question is that whatever knowledge you are sharing is more than enough for the DevOps role.
It is more than enough for DevOps. Okay. 25% is enough. Whatever we are learning, 25% is enough for DevOps.
So what exactly it has? Like, what is the role of DevOps in AWS?
There is no role of DevOps in AWS. There is role of AWS in DevOps. Okay. Okay. So we will use the EC2 service. We'll use Route 53 in DevOps. That's all. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you attending DevOps also, Akash?
Yes. I have done coaching as well.
You already learned DevOps?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it?
Yeah, it is good. Okay. All is about configuration level. Now I'm learning Kubernetes, Docker, and all those stuff.
Very good. Okay. Thank you, Akash.
Yeah.
Zahir Sheikh.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for the classes.
Thank you, Zahir.
And my question is, in what scenario do we? Is it for critical application where we have to block this? NaCl to be used, or in what cases where we use this NaCl?
All the cases, Zahir. Okay. Public subnet is
to access
having vulnerability issues.
Yes.
Okay. Because it is it's exposed to public, Zahir.
Right.
It has vulnerability issues. So how do you make sure that your client is safe?
Like for example,
cannot take any chances.
Right, correct, got it. Like for some application, even everyone can access, like Google or Facebook. Everyone can access.
Anybody can access.
But where in Facebook we block certain user, nobody can access. Only the friends list can access my Facebook or get into my profile. Like that, for the main page, everyone can access. Only the sub page, like ICICI, once we log in other options, not everyone can access my options.
You have that network team will give that. What is that list?
Okay.
What list is it? We get a list, right? What is that name? Access list, I think so.
Access list, yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So when the client, so we can block that at the NaCl level. Okay. So that can be done. Okay. Zahir?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Zahir. Let's move on. There's something more to learn. Okay. Next thing I want to discuss is, let's go to NaCl, which we have configured. Go to inbound rules. So Rohini, we have 3 rules: rule number 100, rule number 200, and rule number 300. Am I right? By default, you'll be on mute. So you can see here, my dear friends, we have 3 rules: rule number 100, 200, 300. Now, most of you will have questions. Sunil, why are you writing 100, 200, 300? Can we write 1, 2, 3? Can I write 10, 20, 30? Can I write 90, 75, 43? Can I use any number what I want? You can use it. But there's some logical importance for rule numbers. Let's try to understand. In every rule, there's something called allow and deny. Please observe. There's something called allow and deny. Let's try to understand the importance of this allow and deny and what is the importance of rule number. Let's try to understand. I'm adding new rule 201 HTTP port. Deny. 201. Okay. So I'm doing it inbound level. Same thing I do it at whatever you do it at inbound level, you have to do it at outbound level. You already know that. New rule. Same rule. 201 HTTP port. It as deny. Okay. See, I have done it at inbound level. I have done it at outbound level. Let's try to understand this change. If you see the rules now, you're clearly mentioning that HTTP port allow. You want allow HTTP ports at NaCl level. Same next rule, I'm mentioning HTTP as deny. It's a contradiction. You in the rule, in one rule you are saying it as allow the HTTP to a subnet level. In one more rule you are saying that HTTP to be denied. It's a contradiction. Now will it allow or deny? Because you are saying it allow, in the next rule you are saying it as deny. So what will be accepted? Are we able to access the web server now after the new rule is implemented? after the new rule is implemented, that is 201. Now, are you able to access the web server? Yes, you are able to access the. Are you able to access the web server? Yes, you are able to access the web server. That means what is considered? Is it allow is considered or deny is considered? Obviously, allow is considered because it is allowing and you are able to access the web page. This means you have to understand the conclusion is lowest rule number is having highest priority. Lowest out of 202 in this contradiction. Don't compare with 100 because I'm comparing this contradiction. HTTP port you are saying it as allow. HTTP port you are saying it as deny. Is it allowing or denying? I have verified perfectly. It's allowing. That means you have to understand that lowest rule number is having highest priority. Lowest rule number is having the highest priority. It is not considering 201, it is considering 200. That means you have to understand that lowest rule number is highest priority. In that case, let's change it. Instead of 201, I write it as 199. At inbound level, I'm doing it at inbound level. 199, I am writing it as deny. This is at inbound level. Anything you do it at inbound level, you have to do it at outbound level. Oh God, it's already. Instead of 201, I'm writing it as 199. Deny. Okay. Now coming to our understanding, lowest rule number will have highest priority out of 200 and 199. 199 is lowest rule number. This will have highest priority. So it is mentioned as deny. So it will stop the incoming connection. Now if I pick up this IP address and try it from a different window, it will take some time to get into action. It will take approximately 1 minute or 2 minutes. Done. It has into action. My dear friends, sorry. What is the IP address? Are you able to get the web page? Tree? It's processing. It's not getting the web page. Now, what is action? What is into action? It's stopping because deny 999. So 199 is lowest rule number. As we know, lowest rule number is having highest preference with respect to this conflict. 200 and 199. 199 is low. So that's the reason it is stopping. So the importance of rule numbers is rule numbers are having the lowest rule number is having highest preference. Now, where exactly this rule numbers is practically used in the real time? Let's have small understanding. The use case of rule numbers. Can we have a talk, Rohini? Can we have a talk, Hashim? Yes, Hashim.
Hello.
Yeah, Hashim, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Look at this. Did you understand the importance of rule numbers?
Yes, sir, I have understood that, okay. Sir. It's actually based on the weight of or the number of rules. So it first checks that, and based on that,
the use case is, look at this. If a hacker is continuously accessing the web server, okay, and wantedly making the web server busy, when a hacker is continuously accessing web server, is nothing but one EC2 machine. Web server is nothing but one EC2 machine. Wantedly, hacker is making that web server busy. We want to block his IP. Only hacker IP should be blocked, but other customers are genuine customers. They should access the web application. Okay, only that hacker IP address should be blocked. So how can we do that? Assuming that I am a hacker. Okay, so I should be blocked. So at the inbound rules, rule number 199. What is my IP? This is my IP address. Rule number 199. Source, I'm mentioning it as my IP address. Our understanding. Source, I'm mapping it as my understanding, and then I'm writing it as save at inbound level. So only in the world, only one IP address should be stopped. Remaining all the incoming connections should be done. It is possible by using rule numbers. I write rule number 199 and I click on save. So this is at inbound level, and whatever we do it at inbound level, we have to also do it at outbound level. So
true, sir. Without interrupting the other users,
the new users should not get affected. Only the hacker should be blocked. That is possible because of this NACL rules concept. Okay, Hashim.
Yes,
so
sir.
the point is now, okay, how the network team will give us the IP address of the hacker. Okay, you don't need to worry about this. Okay, ethical hacking team will give you the IP address. So I have done it at inbound level and outbound level. Now go to the EC2 machine, take the public IP of the EC2 machine, and as I am the hacker, I am trying to access the application. As I am the hacker, I am trying to access the application. My NACL component is blocking, but my dear friends, I am sending this IP address. Now try from Hashim, try it from your laptop or desktop, you will get the application. Okay. Are you able to access the application? Are you able to access the application now? I am not able to access the application, but my dear friends, are you able to access the application using the same IP address? If yes, type yes in the chat box. Yes, we are getting it.
Yes,
so that means the beauty what you have achieved, my dear friends, the beauty what we have achieved is the web application is accessed all over the world, and Hashim, I cannot access. Only I cannot access, but rest of the world can access. Hashim, got it? Like this, you can hack you can block the hackers. Okay, by using the concept of NACL. Okay. Let's say if there are multiple hackers, if there are 10 hackers, the ethical hacking team has identified that the 10 hackers are there. Rule number 199, one IP address. Rule number 198, one more hacker IP address. Rule number 197, you can decrease it, isn't it? Because you have maintained the gaps in rule numbers, you can decrease it and you can block the list of hackers also. Like this, using this NACL component improves one more layer, very important, provides the security at the entire subnet level. Okay, clear about this. And NACL component is not recommended for private subnet. We have used NACL for which subnet? Public subnet. We don't use NACL for private subnet because private subnet itself is secure. Hashim, private subnet itself is secure, so you don't need to worry about private subnet. So only thing we need to worry about public subnet, because public subnet is available to public. There is a scope for vulnerability. We will use this stringent guidelines from the AWS to make sure that the infrastructure is very, very strong. Clear, Hashim? I hope you have understood the importance, my dear friends. I hope you have understood the importance of VPC. VPC is all about increasing the layer of security. So let's delete the components whatever we have created. Delete NAT, delete all the EC2 machines. Delete VPC and deletion process is important. So anyways, I will delete it after the session. I hope we had a wonderful session. I hope you have understood. We have discussed all the components. We have discussed all components with respect to VPC. We have discussed all the components with respect to VPC. Okay. So one final call before ending the topic. So tomorrow we'll be learning about Route 53 service. Okay. Dubey. Hi, Dubey.
Good morning, Sunil. Thank you for meeting me.
Thank you, Dubey.
Just have a question that in list, we align the ports for SSH, HTTP, and custom TCP. So the traffic is moving from custom TCP or from that particular port number 80 or 23, because when we first enlisted the SSH and HTTP, the traffic is not, we are not able to access that.
Why we are not able to access this? What could be the reason?
Because inference port is not there.
Ephemeral ports we have not added, included. Yes, you are right. It is mandatory. So that's the reason we have added ephemeral. Now it starts receiving the incoming connections. Okay.
So file traffic moving from the port 80 or from the ephemeral port?
No, it's 80. Ephemeral ports, when it is used only when the actual port is blocked. Okay.
So if that hacker IP is blocked in the deny condition, so his request was routed through ephemeral port?
His request is not at all routed, first of all.
In the first instance.
Yeah. It's not at all routed. Okay. Did you understand? Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you all. And see you tomorrow where we'll discuss about Route 53. Thank you very much. First, we'll have interaction. Okay. And then we'll get into Route 53. Thank you. Please spend some time looking at the recording at least.